Tip of the day, Vi guide. Hello cute pandas, welcome to another video, and today's video we will be looking at the champion Vi, and we're gonna be doing a guide video for her in the jungle. First and foremost, you need to know before even you learn any champions is what category that champion falls into, and the category this champion falls into is called fighter. A fighter is basically not a tank, not a full tank or a full AD or full carry. She is in between. She's a carry and a tank at the same time. But like I said, she's not a full tank or full AD carry, so it's a balance between both of them. And that's the thing that you call fighter. This guide will be break down in 3 stages. First stage is going to be talking about her spell, second stage is going to be talking about her ruins and masteries, and third stage will be talking about the items. So let's get started. First stage, her abilities. So her passive is called Blasting Shield. She gets a shield whenever she basically does damage with the ability to anything, except for towers, I think. Q or E, basically those are the 2, and even R, those are the 3 abilities that she has. And when she does damage, she will get a short shield, and after the shield is done, it's basically in a time, or if you take enough damage, that passive goes into cooldown. You will get it when the passive comes out of cooldown. Her Q is Fault Breaker. What that is a charge, a skill shot ability. More you charge, further you go, and more damage you'll do. This is extremely good for engaging, so you always want to max this first, max Q first. But you can also max her E first, and we'll get to that as well. But before we get to the E, we need to talk about the W, and that is Denting Blow. You always get this first when you're jungling. Actually, especially when I jungle, I take this first. The reason for that is when you do 3 hits, okay, you will basically activate the passive of your Denting Blow. And what that is you take armor and armor of the monster or champions, anything that you're attacking, and you'll do more damage. After like the 3rd attack, you'll do more damage, and on top of that, your auto attack gains the speed boost. So you get that always first in the jungle. Her 3rd ability is called Excessive Force. I think I pronounced it right. Excessive Force. What that is a active ability. When you press it, it activates, and your basically next auto attack will have extra damage, and also it will make a cone after you hit any champion, minion, monster, whatever. It will do a cone behind them, and it will damage everyone in an AoE factor behind them. You always get that second. In any, like in level 2 in the jungle, you get that second. The reason for that is one of the best way to auto attack cancel on Vi is using Excessive Force. So it's extremely good and fast to get your Denting Blow passive up really fast. On top of that, like I said on the Q, there's another ability that you can max. This is another ability that you can max is E. If you're not good, if you're not confident enough to hit your skill shots, I will say E is the best second solution to get it, because you're gonna do damage no matter what, okay, and you will do more damage more than if you fail your Q basically. So yeah, I normally go with what you call W, E, Q. Then I will max up Q, and then max E, and I'll level up my R whenever I can. That's how I normally build it. And last and foremost, we need to talk about her R, and that is Assault and Battery, and this is the ability that makes her so good. The reason why it makes it so good is because her auto attack the ability itself will go through everything and anything when you lock onto a target, and it's a point and click ability. What that means is no CC can stop you, and basically you will just go through everyone, okay, and you will do damage all the people, all the like champions or minions that you hit. The only way to counter this is Zhonya's or QSS. So far, these are the two ways that I have seen. I don't know if clans can counter it, but I think it does, because clans works similar to QSS, so I think it does. So I will say those three are the spells, or those three things that counters are ulti, assault and breaker. If not, I know for a fact two of them counters it. Now, like I said, if you guys didn't listen, you max your W first. No, sorry, you get your W first, then you max, then you get your E, then you max your Q, then go from there, you max your E, and then you max your W and get your R whenever it's up. Now, right now, we're gonna jump in to our, our runes and masteries. That's the stage 2 of this guide. So yeah, let's get into it. In this guide, I love adding attack speed. Some people doesn't go with attack speed, they go with full cooldown and damage, but I like going with attack speed simply because it helps Vi to auto attack faster and get that passive of her W, denting blow, faster in. That's how I do it. I know there are people that loves to go with the cooldown and then go with the whole cooldown, then go with the whole damage, but I don't like to go that route. So for my reds, mark reds, I like to go with the attack damage, greater mark of attack damage, and I like to add this attack speed here so I can get 15% attack speed. The reason for that, the reason why I have 15% attack speed is because in my acquaintances I have all attack speed, okay? If I take this out, it gives me 14% attack speed, but because I have like, oh damn it, nope, back, yeah, because I have like one more over here, it will give me like that 1% extra attack speed to get that 15% attack speed. For my YOLOs, I will go full armor. There is nothing to like explain there because you're in the jungle and the crypt does attack damage basically, so you need to armor, it helps a lot. And for my blues, I gold guns of cooldown reduction, and it I go full. I don't add any magic resist. I go full cooldown reduction to get 7.50%. And now you're gonna be asking me, why do I get 7.50? It's because cooldown is one of the best thing for Vi. Your abilities will be up really fast, and on top of that you always want your ulti to be up as fast as you can. So this is extremely good. Having cooldown is extremely good for Vi. And then I already talked about my acquaintances is full attack speed. So yeah, let's jump into my masteries. That's my rune page. If you guys want to copy it, just pause the video right here and copy everything, and we're gonna jump into my masteries. In my masteries, I go with 12-0-18. The reason I don't have anything on 0 is because I think it's not really useful to have anything on gunning. Like in my anything in gunning, I don't have anything there because I don't feel like having anything there. I don't feel like it helps as much you having it in resolve and ferocity basically. I think that way she does more damage. So I'm not gonna go like in every details why I do this. I'm just gonna go with the key ones that I want to talk about, and one of the key ones, three of the key ones basically. One of the ones is vampirism, simply because it gives you a lifesteal spell vamp. So every time you use your spells or auto attack, you get some lifesteal back that helps you at the early jungling. And on top of that, I use oppressor simply because you're jumping at the back line, so people tend to slow you, stun you, or whatever, and you will get some extra damage from that. And here in basically resolve, I will only talk about the strength of ages. The reason why I like going strength of ages over anything other, any of the other two, is because it makes her more tanky. Yes, you're gonna go around and say, but then I have to like farm a lot. Yes, you do have to farm a lot, and that's a given. The way I jungle is farming a lot, basically farming a lot and also ganking a lot, and this helps you Vi to get tankier at the end. So yeah, that's my ruins and masteries. I'm gonna show my ruins again so you guys can see it. If you guys want to copy this, just pause it and copy it. And here's my ruins again, just pause it and copy it as well. Other ways that you can go, that I know that you can go, is basically, like I said, on the ruins you can go full cooldown and damage. I don't know any other ones. The one that I do is basically I focus on attack speed and cooldown. In the masteries, you can always, I saw some people go with Thunderlord. I tried it, I just don't like it as much because it makes her really weak, like late. Basically it doesn't make her really weak, but it does make her weak late. And yes, it gives you a little bit like a boost at your early ganks, but it's not a not a huge amount, so I don't really like to go that route. And yeah, that's basically another mastery that you can go. You can go like 12, 18, 0. Basically you can go gunning 12 and have nothing on resolve. You can go with that if you want to, but I don't know why you want to, but sure. Now we're gonna jump into our third stage, and yeah, let's go get into it. In my third stage, I will be talking about the item build. I have two parts over here, so you can understand exactly what items that I normally build. Okay, I normally build and maybe my normal build and my maybe items. This is completely, how you say, depending on the situation, I will add these items in. My normal build is basically enchantment warrior, then I'll go with Trinity Force. From there I will go with Mark Threads, and then I will go with Deadman's Plate and Malmortius. And last and not least, normally I don't even get to my last build, simply because if I'm playing Vi, I normally tend to lose really fast or win really fast. It's like a 50-50 any other way. So Guardian Angel, basically. Some of the things that you can, like some of the way that you will go, you first want to build warrior, enchantment warrior, no matter what. The reason why I say you want to go with this first is because you have that slow smite, and slow smite is really good on Vi because it helps her to stay in touch. I think stick to the enemy champion, but I do know people versus enchantment warrior, basically this skirmisher, sorry, skirmisher to warrior, but I like to go with Stalker's Blade to warrior. Basically a skirmisher warrior has its good things and bad things. Good things is that every auto attack you do is like you do extra damage, like a red buff. Like it looks more like a red buff than a smite, than a like a ignite for me. Yeah, it works more of like a red buff than a smite for me. Sorry, ignite. So but I like to go with the Stalker's Blade simply because of the slow, simply because of that. And from there, when I back after finishing up my first item, I always go with the page, how you call that? Page or phage? I don't know how you pronounce this properly, but I always go with this simply because depending on how the game is going, depending on if the game is going our way, if I'm really fed, I will go with Black Cleaver or Trinity Force. Both of them are good, but it depends on how the game is going for me. I will go with one or another. I will go with Trinity Force only when I am really fed. I basically, I'm the one who's gonna carry, and I have all the kills, I have all the gold. If I don't have all the goals, all the carry potential, I will go with Black Cleaver. I see from time to time every other Vi players making the mistake of going Trinity Force all the time, even when they're 1 and 6 or 0 and 10, they still try to go to Trinity Force. The reason why you don't want to go Trinity Force over Black Cleaver when you're behind is because Trinity Force costs 3,733. That's like 600 more gold than Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver is easier to get. On top of that, you have armor shirt on it. On 24s you don't. What you have is like really, like with your E you can do a lot more damage. Basically you have that burst potential on the 24s, where here you will do constant damage basically. And then I will, from like depending on how the game is, after you choose your second item, I go with my mark turrets. The reason why I go with mark turrets is because, well, it's really simple. You're gonna jump into the backline, they will try to slow you, stun you, and Mercurius mark turrets will help you get out the slow or the stun faster. But if you are feeling another way, or if you're basically a jungler that loves to gank and move around really fast, you can go with Boots of Swiftness. The reason and the other reason you want to go with Boots of Swiftness is because it's 900 gold, and mark turrets are like 1000, like 1100 gold. So depending on how the game goes and how you play, that's how you want to go. Our fourth item that I normally get is Deadman Place. The reason why I get this is because, well, it gives you a little bit of armor, it gives you a little bit of health, it makes you more tankier, and on top of that it gives you a really nice passive where when you charge it up you will do extra damage, so it's really good when you're trying to carry. But another option that you can go is Rendu's Omen. It's really good. It's really good. It gives you more armor, same amount of health, but damage taken to crit, basically your damage. Basically this is better for AD carries. Basically if the AD carry is really fed on the other team, go with this. And on top of that, it has the active passive is called basically slows, and it helps you to stick to the champion. So you will have two basically ways to stick to the champions. Basically, here's the thing: if you go with this, with the skirmisher, always go with this Renduance, so you can have that active slow. But if you go with this, and if you see the enemy AD carry is not basically too fed, go with the Deadmans. I will say that's your best option. And from there, this is basically, I don't really know why you won't get this over anything else. It's called Malmortius. You can get this Malmortius really, like, it gives you magic resist, it gives you attack damage, and it gives you armor pen on top of that. So this is really good for you. I don't really advise you to go with anything else beside that. There is another item that you can go in this. Let me try to find it. It is this one. It's Stacker's Cage or something like Stalker's Cage. I don't really like going this one simply because this Malmortius gives me that magic resist, and on top of that armor pen. That's the only reason I go with this. And last and not least, you can choose whatever you buy, but I will say try to buy a defensive. I normally go with the GA if I go to that last part, or I will go with Spirit Vicious. Sorry, not Spirit Vicious, Banshee's Veil. What am I talking about? Banshee's Veil. The reason for that is for basically the passive itself. So people can't really stop you that hard. But I normally go with GA. It's like, for me, GA is 10 times better. Okay, so that's my Vi guide. Hope this helps you, and sorry if this video is longer, because when I do a like a guide video like this, I need to make it a little bit longer, simply because I can't really talk about a champion and how to build her or him, the champion itself, and talk about how to play that champion without making a video this big. Hopefully you guys like it. If you do like it, please leave it a thumbs up. If you want more contents like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and tell me in the comments if you like it or not, if you want more like guide videos like this or not. yeah, that's it. Share this video on your social network because it does help me to get known to other people. And on top of that, guys, remember, at the end of the day, you only have one life, so live it. Peace.